On the Bonsai Empire YouTube channel, we have quite a few videos that are, dealing with cheap nursery stock trees. But every now and then we try to pick a plant that's a little bit more expensive and that has more potential than the cheaper trees. Today we have an Hinoki cypress imported tree from Japan, which already has a nice shape and has already the appearance of a bonsai tree. It's already planted in good soil in a small pot. So a lot of the work has been done for us. But this is one of those trees that you can purchase for $100 to $200, but with good potential to become a really nice developed bonsai tree in only 1 or 2 years' time. So that's what we have right here, and that's what we'll work with today. And what you can see is that there's a really good branching lower on the tree, and then there's a long trunk extension that we don't really need. So without even deciding on the front, for sure I know that this will have to go. Looking at the front, there's a nice shape here in the trunk. So if you want to use this shape in the design of your tree, either this is the front or the exact opposite, which is on this side. But if you also look at the first roots, etc., this is the nicest front of the tree. So with this front in mind and the idea of shortening the tree quite a bit, we need to look for a branch that can serve as the new apex. So this could be the new apex or this one as well. But both options are fine, but that means that we can prune right here and take this top off. So that's what I do right away. I'll leave a bit of a stub here just to be on the safe side, but this we don't need. So immediately the tree is much more compact now. And the next job is to set these branches in position, prune a bit more. We don't need to prune too many branches. And really that's all we'll do today. So in the next spring or maybe even the next year, I'll put this in a new pot, which will help make the tree look much better in another plastic pot, but in a nice bonsai pot. But some pruning and wiring, and that's it. Alright, 6 months after we styled this tree, it's time to repot it. I have a few pot options available, but first I want to see the roots before I talk about the different pots that we have. So what I'll do today, it's early spring, so proper time to do the repotting. The tree isn't growing actively yet, but it's starting to push, so it's great timing for the repot. So what I'll do is I'll take the tree out of its pot, see how the roots are doing, try and get the old soil away from those roots, and then see which pot it will fit well. All right, well, not often have I seen a tree with so many roots circling around the inside of the pot. So definitely in need of repotting. There's almost no way to keep all these roots in the future pot, so these circling roots you can hack through with your root hook without too much hesitation. So I'll take those off. So I'm thinking that this tree probably hasn't been repotted for maybe 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer. Styling a bonsai tree and applying these sort of techniques correctly is one of the most difficult parts in creating a bonsai tree. You can check out our YouTube channel for videos about these techniques, but perhaps also consider enrolling in one of our online bonsai courses. Here, expert teachers explain all the relevant techniques in detail, and as a student you can also ask questions directly to the teachers. Simply go to bonsaiempire.com/courses. Alright, I think we took off enough soil for now, so I'll just trim the roots a little bit. Not too much. That's it. So a few options for the pots. Let's begin with the largest one. So if I put the tree in there, I think quite clearly the pot is a little bit too large for the tree. If my goal is to develop the tree a lot, this would be an ideal pot, a little bit large, so it can just grow stronger, but that's not my goal for now. So the large pot I'll put aside. Then I have another slightly larger pot, but more red color. So the tree fits in there nicely. I think it's a good size. Perhaps also a little bit on the large side, but definitely an option. Then a very shallow brown pot. In terms of size, I think a very good option. I don't like the color that much, so I'll put this away for now. Another option, I think a very good size for the tree. Not sure about the color, it's a little dull. I kind of like this one. It's perhaps a little bit too small, or not too small, but on the small side. But the color and the shape are very nice. So actually, I think I'm going for this pot. So I'll put this away. I think it's too large. And I'll put this one away as well. So I think the options are this one, and this one. If you have a preference, do let me know. Like, I'm about to make a decision, of course, but I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. I think this is the pot I'm going for. So I put this away, put the tree away. I'll spray a bit of water on the roots just to make sure that they don't dry out. And then I'll prepare this pot. Preparing the pot means I need to have 2 covers for the drainage holes, and there are some smaller holes here that I can use for my wires to attach the tree firmly to the pot. So I prepared my pot. I'll add a bit of soil in the pot now, and then put the tree in there. As always, the soil I use is a blend of akadama, pumice and lava. A bit more akadama than the other parts, but a nice mix, not too coarse because it's a small tree. Alright, then I'll add a bit more soil and then use my chopstick to work in the soil so that there's no air pockets anywhere. And what this will do is it will fill the air pockets, and you can immediately see that there's a lot of soil disappearing. So that means that those spaces underneath and on the sides of the tree are filled. Finished repotting the tree, and I just want to discuss the next steps. The tree still has wire on it, and since it's not damaging the branches just yet, I'll leave the wire on for now. It's spring now, so the tree will start to grow, and then we'll have to be careful that it doesn't damage the branches. So I'll remove the wire probably in 2 months from now, but let's see. At this very moment I'll water the tree. It's very important so that the roots have access to moisture again, and also the dust from the new soil washes out. At home I'll put the tree in the shadow. The reason I do that for probably 2 or 4 weeks is that I just want to make sure that the sun doesn't hit the tree intensely, so that there's more moisture evaporating, and then there's not enough moisture coming from the roots, and the tree might react by shedding a few branches. So I just want to make sure that there's not a high demand for moisture by putting it in the sun. So for a few weeks, a bit of shadow, probably 3 or 4 weeks from now I'll put it in the sun, and then also start fertilizing, etc. But first now, a bit of water. Alright, so I'm very happy with how this tree is developing. The basic shape has been set last time. We pruned and wired, placed it in a pot, and now it's fall again. The tree just went through a long summer with lots of new shoots. I didn't prune it in summer, and so right now it's a good time to prune those long shoots back, compact it a little bit more, and also distribute the growth evenly throughout the tree. So, for example, the apex grew very strongly, so I just want to prune that back a bit and balance the tree. So a simple maintenance update, just going through the tree and reducing those long shoots. I don't need to rewire at this point, perhaps in a year or so to further refine it, but for now I think pruning is all that needs to be done. So I'm using scissors. You could also use your fingers, but I just like this because it's clean cuts. And I'm just going through the tree, and I just want to make that more balanced.
Learn how to create your own bonsai trees by enrolling in one of our online bonsai courses. We explain techniques like pruning, wiring and repotting, and you can ask questions to the teachers. For the curriculums and free lessons, go to bonsaiempire.com/courses.